Yo, let's shake it, AC.
Here we go. Another episode of Ang Rob Rants for franchisees.
Special edition.
Special edition, and we actually don't. We just do it. We're not going to re-record. We just don't. We're not doing that. So that was actually take one. Take one.
Take one.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and it is community marketing.
Boom.
Boom.
Not only is it your favorite, but it's probably the most important.
Exactly.
For a franchisee.
And it's also the most controversial. I know.
I love controversy.
Okay, well, you go do that, and I'll not do that. Okay, so the reason it's so important in franchising is because a big part of the reason that franchising exists is so that you can have local owners running the business in the local community. They can go out and they can build relationships and make connections and get people to want to support you in your business. And when I talk to many, many different franchisees and get to work with them when I'm speaking at franchise conferences and getting franchisees revved up, I consistently hear that the highest performer franchisees, the ones that are doing the best, are the ones that get their butt out into the community. And that might not be literally, like we can talk about what that means, but it's doing community marketing. And just to clarify what I mean by that is any kind of thing that you can do to get attention. So we're not talking about spending a ton of money. We're talking about doing really being careful with your spend, but getting people to know that like you're Robert from Control V. You're that small business owner that everybody wants to support. So it's getting out there and doing things in the community, or it could be through social media, different ways of doing things.
Yeah. I think there's a common sort of belief that when you say the high performers are getting out into the community, you ask yourself, are they getting out into the community because they're high performers, or are they high performers because they're getting out of the community? And I almost think that that's irrelevant. Well, you just have to say, forget that circular thought. Just get out. And you know what?
Yeah, well, that's how your brain works. But
right.
That you have to have all that thinking. But all kidding aside, like it can be both. I've seen both. I've seen high performers that go, oh, okay, yeah. Like they come in, they've got the right traits to be a good high performing franchisee, and they listen and they do what they're supposed to do. And then there's other people that do it, and it makes them have the sales. So you're right. It doesn't matter. What matters is to do it. And another thing that we need to touch on here is what often happens in franchising is franchisees, and I've been there, I've been in your shoes, you kind of start to think, wait, I'm spending this I'm spending this money on royalties and an ad fund or a marketing fund, usually around 1.5 or 2% of your sales, and you're expecting that that's going to drive business. And even though when I was a franchisee, I was store number 300, 319, and 327 in the chain, which grew to almost 500 units. When I was a franchisee over the 18 years, even though it was an iconic Canadian brand, so very few Canadians didn't know the name M&M Meat Shops, even though that was the case, and even though we paid into a marketing fund, we still had better revenue, better sales, better profitability when we included the community marketing aspect. Mm-hmm. So this perception that you're going to be, this brand itself is going to bring people in the door, you're just going to turn on a sign and the brand is just not the case, just to be clear.
Brands aren't created, they're built. Like you could create a logo and say, look I have a brand. Well, a brand isn't the logo. A brand is, how people see it.
And right? The people behind it, right? And that's the beauty of being able to, as a franchisee, get out into your community and be the face of the brand in your community. So at this point, I'm guessing.
Well, hold on. I don't know where you're going with this, but I wanted to ask you. So what you're saying is that there is a level of responsibility on the franchisee to build that brand by getting out in the community. Yeah.
So that's a great point. So just to clarify, there's the franchisor's responsibility is to continue to keep the brand fresh and innovate the brand, to drive overall growth of the company, get new franchisees. More franchisees will lead to more growth because there's more brand awareness. And then to use that ad fund or marketing fund to do some sort of bigger initiatives that are going to help everybody, but they're not responsible for your local marketing. If they're a good franchisor, they should understand, they should be able to guide you on what to do. What kinds of things work well for your type of business that you can get out into your community to do, whether that's lawn signs or, get your vehicle wrapped or whatever that is, go join your Rotary Club or do these other things. they should be able to guide you on that, but you need to be the one doing that.
Right.
So that's the difference, the responsibility of the franchisee versus the franchisor.
Right. And like a lot of businesses will say that their best form of marketing is word of mouth, right? So they think, okay, if I run Facebook ads and I get somebody in, okay, and then that somebody goes back and tells somebody else, that's my word of mouth marketing. In my opinion, that's word of mouth remarketing. Word of mouth marketing comes from that grassroots community involvement of the franchisee. You're not going to the virtual reality arcade or the meat shop down the street. You're going to Rob's virtual reality place or Angela's meat shop, you know, or butcher shop. Or
that wasn't the name of the company, but yeah, just saying. But no, I get what you're saying. I totally get it. Yeah, I love when I've had the opportunity to work with franchisees, you know, at a franchisee conference, and uncover, you know, what are the ideas and things they can do. And one of the things that is loud and clear that I hear across the board is being like a kind of like acts of service in your community. So it's not like, and this is kind of where I think we're going maybe with that too. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go to the networking, speed networking event. Hey, here's my card. Okay, I sell insurance. Okay, I'm a realtor. I've got the Control V place. It's more about like giving back, I find, to the community and not expecting something in return. That's going to often net you the best. Yeah. And so where I kind of think we should go with this is now what stops people, not what stops people, but what if you're like, I hear you, but I don't know what to do. Now we'll do a whole episode on ideas. That's going to be our next episode, guys.
Boom. Stay tuned.
But in the meantime, this is my tip, is find something that you're actually going to do. I see a lot of, and this is human nature. This isn't just franchisees or business people. We're always going to do the thing that we actually feel like we can do and that we can execute on. So, for example, if you're trying to get a little bit more healthy and move your body more, and someone's like, well, you got to sign up for a gym and go 5 days a week and do 1 hour workouts. Are you really going to do that?
That's tough. Yeah, usually with community marketing, the number one thing, not number one in terms of most productive, but the one that everyone always goes to is join a Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce. Right? Nothing against them.
Nothing against it. But what's going to happen is you're going to get a whole bunch of emails from the Chamber of Commerce, a whole bunch of networking events, endless stuff. And if that's not your thing...
If you hate networking, you're not going to go.
Yeah.
You're right. You'll get all these great emails and everything, but you're just not going to go. So you got to find something that you're actually going to do. Now, one sort of sub-point of this, though, is if the reason you're not doing it is because you don't know how versus you're really uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's someone in your one of your peers, your other franchise peers that has done it and can teach you how, or your field person that supports you from the franchise company. Often people just don't know how, and with something like networking, if you get some good tips on good opening lines, like yours.
Yo, what's shaking? That one?
There's that one, and then there's, hi, can I network with you?
Oh, right.
Not everybody has that level of confidence to walk up to somebody and say, hi, can I network with you? Which is a good one, and it's fun, breaks the ice really well. But if they just had a better sense of what to say and what to do and how to optimize it so that it didn't just waste their time, right? Yep. But if that's never going to be your thing, I always say, I'd rather see somebody, if say the most effective thing is networking, but the next best thing is going out and putting lawn signs out, I'd rather them go put the lawn signs if they're never going to do it.
Yeah, if they're not going to network, if they don't have that personality or that drive to do it.
Yeah, so key takeaway here is find something that you get excited about, and you might even be able to bring the team in. Sometimes your team loves the idea of getting out and doing these things.
And actually go do it. That's important too.
Yeah, actually
like you can make a list of...
No, that's why I say find something you're actually going to do and then do it. And it can be one of your team members. It doesn't always have to be the owner, the franchisee. Mm-hmm. It can be somebody that is more comfortable doing that and have them go out, or maybe it's a group. Like, just get the brand out there.
Yeah.
Get out there.
Get out there.
Okay, are we going to wrap this puppy up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We're going to give examples next. Here we go.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go be awesome.